Welcome back to the deep dive. Whenever we talk about sports, there's this very specific script we all expect.
Hollywood script.
Exactly. It's binary. You either win and you're a legend, or, well, you lose and you're a footnote. We worship the undefeated boxers, the teams that sweep the finals.
It's the clean narrative,
Yeah.
right? We like it when the best athlete proves they're the best by winning everything.
Yeah.
But if you really look at fan psychology, it often drifts away from that.
How so?
Well, sometimes the figure that really grips a nation, the one that sells all the merchandise, isn't the one on top of the podium.
And that is exactly where we're heading today. We are looking at a really specific phenomenon in Japanese horse racing from the early 90s. We're unpacking the story of a horse named Yukino Bijin. And the mission for this deep dive is to figure out how a horse that was, statistically good but not great became this massive cultural icon, the snowborn idol.
And idol is absolutely the right word. We're not just talking about a popular athlete. We're talking about the idol phenomenon in Japanese pop culture. Where things like effort and charm are sometimes valued even more than just winning.
Right.
And Yukino Bijin is the perfect case study. She
Yeah.
came from the minor leagues, she fought the elites, lost the biggest races of her life, and yet people remember her more fondly than a lot of the horses that beat her.
So to get to the bottom of this, we've got racing records. We have her whole career trajectory from Iwate to the JRA, and this layer of cultural context about the Oguri cat boom. So let's start at the beginning. 1990. She's born. Was she an underdog on paper?
Actually, no. And that's the first real twist in this story.
Yeah.
Her bloodline was, it was royalty.
Oh, really?
Her father was Sakura Yutaka O,
Yeah.
a horse known for just incredible speed. Her damsire, so her mother's father, was Royal Ski. These are elite genetics. She was absolutely bred to run at the highest level.
So she had the pedigree. The plan must have been straight to the JRA, the Japan Racing Association.
Right. And for anyone listening, the JRA is the major leagues.
That's the big show.
It's the big show. It's where the massive prize money is. It's Tokyo Racecourse. If you have a horse with her genes, that is 100% where you're aiming.
But she didn't go there, not at first.
No. She hit a bureaucratic wall. It's this tiny little sliding doors moment that just changed her entire story.
What happened?
Every stable in the JRA has a quota, a limit on how many horses they can have. And when she was ready to debut, the stable she was meant for was simply full, no vacancy.
Wait, that's it. A horse with that much potential gets turned away because of bed space.
It happens. It's a super competitive environment.
Yeah.
So the owners had a choice. Wait for a spot to open up, which will waste time, or send her somewhere else to get started.
They chose somewhere else.
They sent her to Iwate Racing.
And we should probably paint a picture of Iwate. This is not the majors. This is a different world.
A totally different world.
Right.
Iwate is up in northern Japan. It's cold, it's snowy. But the really crucial thing is the tracks are different. The JRA is mostly on these lush green turf courses.
Okay.
Regional racing, like in Iwate, it's almost all on dirt. It's grittier. It's definitely in the minor leagues. But it has this very working class vibe to it.
It's almost like a star soccer player having to start their career on some muddy local field because the main stadium was full.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
So she ends up at Misasawa Racecourse. And honestly, when a horse with her pedigree shows up there,
Yeah.
it's a huge mismatch.
And it was, right. She ran 4 times there.
She did. Won 3 of them. But it wasn't just that she won. It was how she looked doing it. Everyone there knew she was just passing through. She was a sports car on a gravel road.
So a big fish in a small pond. She does her time, proves she has the engine, and then at age 3, she finally gets the call up to the big leagues.
Yes, the transfer happens. And this is a really critical moment because moving from regional dirt to central turf is notoriously hard. The surface is different. The pace is way faster. A lot of regional stars just can't make that jump.
So she makes her debut in a race called the Crocus Stakes. If you're a bettor that day and you see this horse coming in from a regional dirt track, are you putting your money on her?
Absolutely not. And they didn't. The bettors completely dismissed her. You have to remember, her very last race in Iwate, that 4th one, she finished 5th.
Oh, wow. So she wasn't even coming in on a hot streak?
Not at all. She was coming off a loss in the minors, trying to step up to the majors. The odds reflected that. She was sent off as the 9th favorite.
So a total long shot. They thought she was just there to fill a spot in the gate.
And this is where the legend really starts to spark. The gates open. And Yukino Bijin doesn't just keep up, she wins. Convincingly.
That must have sent a shock through the whole system.
It flipped her entire story on its head, instantly. She wasn't regional filler anymore. She was a serious contender who'd been hiding out in the snow.
And that win set her up for the classic season.
It did. And the classic season, just to be clear, these are the huge once-in-a-lifetime races for 3-year-olds.
Right, like the Kentucky Derby equivalent.
Exactly. For the fillies, the female horses, the two big ones are the Okusho and the Yushun Himba, the Japanese Guineas and Oaks. These are the races that make your career.
Okay, so she's now a contender. But every good story needs a villain, an antagonist, and she ran right into one.
She ran into a buzzsaw named Vega.
Even the name sounds intimidating.
And she was. Vega was the chosen one. Powerful, dominant, the heavy favorite. The dynamic was just perfect. You have the elite queen, Vega, versus the girl from the snowy north.
So first up is the Okusho. What happened?
Yukino Bijin ran her heart out. She proved the Crocus Stakes wasn't some fluke. She was right there. But she couldn't catch Vega. Finished second.
Okay, second place in a classic is still a huge deal, a silver medal. But then comes the Oaks, a longer race. Maybe that helps her.
You'd think so, but the result was a carbon copy. Vega first, Yukino Bijin second, again.
Oof, back-to-back silvers. In a lot of sports, that's when they start calling you a choker. Always the bridesmaid.
And this is where the story gets so interesting, because this is the key to understanding Japanese racing culture in the 90s. Instead of dismissing her as a loser, the public fell in love with her.
Why? Why a reward coming in second?
Because of the context. A few years before, there was this horse, Oguri Cap. He was another one who came from the regional tracks to beat the elites, and he sparked this massive racing boom. The public was hungry for that outsider story all over again.
So Yukino Bijin was the sequel. She fit that archetype.
Perfectly. She was the snowborn Cinderella. Finishing second to a super horse like Vega didn't look like failure. It looked like perseverance. It looked like gammon. She was hanging in there, representing everyone who felt like an underdog.
It's interesting you say Cinderella because we have to talk about her look. The idol factor isn't just about performance.
No, not at all. It might sound superficial, but in the idol industry, visuals matter. And all the sources described Yukino Bijin as having this cute appearance. She had a very distinct white, sort of ribbon-like mane.
And the name itself, Yukino Bijin, that means snow beauty, right?
Yes. It tied her brand perfectly back to her northern roots in Iwate. But here's the fact that really just blew my mind.
The merchandise.
The merchandise. Usually you win the big G1 race, you're the champion, then they make the plush toys.
Right. You don't get the jersey until you've won the trophy.
With Yukino Bijin, the plush toys were being made and were selling out before she ever won a single graded race in the JRA.
That's insane. That's not about performance at all. That's people buying into the story.
Exactly. It's empathy. They weren't buying the toy because she was the best. They were buying it because they wanted to support her journey. Cheering for the dominant winner can feel a bit cold, you know?
Yeah.
But cheering for the striver, the one who's still growing, that feels personal.
And there was another piece of this underdog puzzle too, right? The jockey.
Oh, the jockey situation is fascinating. The plan, based on her pedigree, was for her to be ridden by Yukio Okabe.
The superstar.
The superstar jockey, the Michael Jordan of his sport. If he's on your horse, it's a stamp of approval. But he didn't ride her for those second-place finishes.
So who did?
A jockey named Tomio Yasuda. Now, Yasuda was a respected veteran, but he wasn't a megastar, and he famously described himself as a supporting actor.
I'm just the supporting actor. I love that. It frames the horse as the star.
It added so much charm. You have the beautiful snow heroine and her humble, hardworking jockey taking on the world. It felt like a partnership, not a corporate machine.
So we have the image, the story, the near misses, but she did eventually get a win, right? A proper trophy.
She did. In the autumn of her 3-year-old season, she ran in the Queen Stakes. It's a G3 race, so prestigious, but not quite the absolute top tier, and she won it.
Finally, that must have felt like validation.
A huge validation. It proved she belonged. But, you know, racing is a roller coaster. Right after that high, they aim for the Elizabeth Queen Cup, a G1, a massive race.
And this time, they make the change. They put the superstar Okabe on the horse.
Exactly. The expectation was through the roof. People thought, okay, she's got to win. Now she has the best jockey. This is it. This is where she finally gets her G1.
And Jimsy.
She flopped badly. Finished 10th.
Ouch. 10th place that's nowhere. That kind of kills the narrative.
It was a crushing disappointment. But this is why this horse had so much heart. Most would just spiral after a loss like that. She had one more trick up her sleeve.
What was that?
The Turquoise Stakes, later that year. And who shows up in that race? A horse named Hokuto Vega.
Wait, not the same Vega from before?
No, confusingly a different horse. But this Hokuto Vega was a monster. She had just won the Elizabeth Queen Cup, the very race Yukino Bijin had just failed in.
So she's facing the horse that just won the title she bombed out of?
It's even better than that. In racing, they have a handicapping system to make things fair. Better horses carry more weight.
Right.
Because Yukino Bijin had such a strong record overall, the handicappers made her carry more weight than Hokuto Vega.
Hold on. She just finished 10th. Hokuto Vega just won a G1. And Yukino Bijin has to carry more weight. That sounds completely backwards.
It seemed like an impossible task.
Right.
She's giving weight to a champion who's in top form.
And she won.
She won. She beat the reigning G1 champion while carrying a heavier load.
Now that is resilience. That's the fighting spirit everyone was talking about.
That win, for me, defines her even more than the classics. She didn't have that raw, untouchable dominance, but she was tough. She could get knocked down to 10th place and come right back swinging.
But sadly, injuries don't care about great stories. Her career was cut short, wasn't it?
It was. At age 4, she developed an injury in her right foreleg. It's the curse of the thoroughbred. She just couldn't make a full recovery, and she was retired.
So she retires with no G1 wins, a G3 winner, a dual classic runner-up, and she moves on to being a mom, a broodmare.
Again, expectations were high. She was royalty. She was bred to huge names. Manhattan Cafe winning ticket.
I know those names.
But in real life, her breeding career was a bust.
Really?
None of her direct offspring ever won a graded race. It's just a reminder that genetics is a lottery. You can't just copy the magic.
That feels almost poetic in a sad way. The magic was just hers.
Exactly. Her value was the memory she left. She lived a good, long life in retirement, passing away in 2016 at age 26.
So when we look back, the Snowborn Idol really challenges how we define success. If you just look at the stats, you might scroll right past her.
Right. Good horse. Didn't win the big one. But if you look at the impact, she was a true phenomenon. She was regional pride. She proved that you don't have to be born in the palace to run with the queens.
And she validated that idea that the supporting actor can absolutely steal the show.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more.